How did the Taliban capture Panjshir? Around August 17, remnants of the Afghan National Army began mobilizing in the Panjshir Valley under the direction of Massoud. At the time, Saleh, who had declared himself the de facto President of Afghanistan, attempted to negotiate a peaceful end to the conflict, but the NRF's endeavours to seize crucial supply routes was seen as a betrayal by the Taliban, who soon launched counteroffensives of their own. On August 23, reports suggested that talks between representatives from Panjshir and the Taliban had failed, and that the latter was preparing to send hundreds of its forces to the region. Cut off from supply routes to Tajikistan, Massoud made a desperate plea to the international community, writing an op-ed in the Washington Post, asking for support against the Taliban. No help arrived, however, and Massoud once again entered into talks with the group, with both sides declaring a ceasefire on August 26. The Taliban went on to cut all internet and telecommunications services throughout Panjshir on August 29, which significantly hampered the NRF's ability to communicate with supporters domestically and abroad. Cut off from the outside world, on August 31, the valley was subjected to a violent offensive by Taliban forces who were allegedly aided by al-Qaeda operatives. By September 6, after heavy fighting that resulted in widespread casualties on both sides, the Taliban captured the governor's office in Bazarak and laid claim to the entire Panjshir Valley. Current situation. Despite credible reports that suggest the NRF is still active, its ability to drive the Taliban out of the Panjshir Valley is likely limited. The group suffers from a lack of internal leadership and, more significantly, external support. The NRF possesses no leaders that can significantly mobilize public support. Massoud, who bears a striking resemblance to his father, is young and has spent much of his life outside of Afghanistan. While he insists that it is in his DNA to never back down, much of his appeal comes from his relationship to Massoud Sr., and his own ability to recruit support is relatively limited. Saleh, while certainly influential, was not particularly prominent politically before President Ashraf Ghani fled the country, and is similarly limited in his popular appeal. Additionally, high-profile members of NRF have been killed during the conflict, such as Fahim Dashti, the spokesperson of the group and a nephew of Dr. Abdullah, along with General Abdul Wadid Zara, another senior member and nephew of Ahmad Massoud Sr. Crucially, the NRF has been unable to secure international support, unlike the Northern Alliance, which received arms and resources from several foreign countries, including the USA. Despite high-profile calls for help from leaders like Massoud, the international community has largely failed to respond. In recent weeks, several foreign spokesmen and diplomats, including the head of the CIA, the chairman of Britain's Joint Intelligence Community, and envoys from several countries, have met with senior Taliban members in Qatar. Additionally, America, Turkey and Qatar are working to reopen Kabul airport and resume commercial flights. This in turn gives the Taliban international legitimacy and undermines the efforts of the NRF. Massoud, Saleh and the NRF have repeatedly insisted that they will not back down from the conflict, but given the strength of the Taliban, their ability to withstand the group may be limited. Unfortunately, it seems as though Panjshir is the last piece of the puzzle, and despite the valiant efforts of its people and the NRF, the Taliban's conquest of Afghanistan is finally complete.